Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janaea, and thank you for visiting Energy Rising. And today is this morning actually was the solar eclipse in Scorpio, and it was a new moon, which an eclipse always is. But so today I wanted to make a video for you guys about how to, just like what is going on with the energy and also how to use it practically in your life. And so, on this channel, I use a lot of different modalities, including the work that I do as an energy healer, shamanic work, psychic healing, astrology, as well as Western therapy. And I really believe in the way that we can kind of take a lot of things that, like this esoteric kind of stuff and really apply it in a way that is like solid in our lives. And one of the things that I love about astrology is that I am really a believer that like we are a reflection of the universe, or if you want to think about it, and the way that like the universe is a reflection of us. But either way, the energy and like what's going on with the planets is the same as what's going on with us internally, and it's a mirror. And the way that that is reflected inside of you has a specific reflection that that is connected to your birth chart at the moment that you were born. And but, just in general, though, the kind of like energy that's happening in the universe and the alignment of the stars and the conversations is something that's happening also internally in us. And so generally when I do a lot of, live moon groups. I've done them in person in my home. I do them online with people. And I really like to kind of like harness that energy, using it as a way, in some way, some people call it like astrological magic. What I believe is that it's really just like, harnessing the energy of the universe, harnessing the energy that's happening inside of us. And it's like using that to like continue to move forward on purpose in life. And I really believe in that, in this way of like, being able to, have a little bit more control of what's going on in our lives and around us, right? That it's like, how can I use this energy? And so, especially when it comes to energy of like an eclipse. And so this morning is what's called a solar eclipse. And it's when, the sun and the moon align on the axis of the nodes, which has a lot to do with the moon. But when those align, we have what's called a solar eclipse. And, in like parts of the country where it was daylight, people could see that eclipse. And so, eclipse energy is where basically like things can just sort of be removed from your life. That it's a lot of times like in life we're going along, and if you've ever had the experience of like doing things that aren't necessarily in alignment, they maybe don't really feel that great, they don't feel like things that you want to do, or like you're kind of like having experiences that are not what you're looking for, and yet you continue to do it over and over. And maybe you get signals from the universe of like, hey, this isn't really in alignment, but you continue to do it anyway. And like our human behavior and kind of the ways that our mind thinks that we're actually getting what we want doesn't really want us to stop doing that. But like energetically, we know, and spiritually, like in another way, that it's not really what we want. And so in eclipse season, the universe really comes in and just removes things. It just starts taking things away. It's like this energy is of something being revealed and removed. And so I want to, again, really use that. Generally, like a new moon unless it's an eclipse, is really about manifesting new things into your life, right? And what's interesting is that actually the last full moon, which is usually about the removal of things, was more a signature of a new moon, and this new moon is more a signature of a full moon. And so I want to use this energy to kind of help maybe with anything that you're ready to let go of, that I might psychically and energetically be able to take some of those things for you. And so if you're watching this video, the way that I do that is that I don't really believe in time and space. I believe that there are constructs that we make up in our minds. And so time and space doesn't mean anything. Like, I make this video and I already know what you're releasing. It's like there is this on another vibrational level, like the being in me knows what you're releasing and is attuning to that and knows that you're going to be here watching this video. And so I want to energetically help you to let go of some of those things. And also, you know, while we're here, I want to do a little bit of work with medicine. And so, you know, water is a medicine. And water is actually a really healing and amazing medicine. And I figured that since this eclipse, and there's so much energy in Scorpio, which is a water energy, that we would use some water. And so just get a little bit of water in a glass. You can go ahead and go do that. You can pause the video and just go get some water. So we're gonna use that water at the end of this session for some additional healing. And so what happens is that as this water is sitting here, it's collecting all of the things that I say and do, whatever is happening, whatever it is that I'm kind of like bringing into my life. And so yours will be doing the same. So like I said, new moons are generally for manifesting, but this one has more of an energy of a full moon, which is a lot about releasing. But the whole sort of like the whole reason for this removal is about your manifestations. And so it's about like what is supposed to come next for you. And that's really what is going to be in this water. And as we ingest the water, we're going to be really like accepting into us what is meant for us next. And so, you know, I guess we'll just talk a little bit about the energy of what is happening in this new moon. And I'm sorry that the wall is just like white and playing behind me. That's kind of awful. I'm going to need to do something about that. But right now, so a couple of days ago, the Venus actually conjunct the sun. And so Venus met up with the sun and they traveled together from Libra into Scorpio. And so Libra is very much a sign of like doing for other people. It's a very social kind of a sign. It is logical, a little bit more thought-based, you know, because it's an air sign. And so Libra is like, you know, like more about other people. And when you move into Scorpio, when those two energies moved into Scorpio together, it's like was revealing of like some deeper internal things that maybe have been going on inside of you that you've been unaware of. And so Venus is the planet of worth. And when you think about worth, like people think that Venus is about love, which it is. You know, I think that really the ways that we find our value and our worth in this world are through love and money. And so those are really the two kind of things that Venus really influences. And so it might also just be like in general, like abundance. And so as the sun and Venus came together, the sun was shining a light on Venus. And for you, what that would mean personally is that the sun started to kind of shine down on Venus, and it was saying to you, like, maybe you might have started to have some kinds of like thoughts or feelings about like what was missing for you, or something that was like happening in a current relationship that you didn't really like, or some kind of way that you have like abandoned your own needs or your own desires, or ways that you have abandoned yourself for a job that you've like worked for less than what you're worth, or you have been willing to just take whatever you can get, whether that's in relationships or where it relates to money for you. And so that started to kind of show itself a couple of days ago. And as they moved into Scorpio, it's sort of like really brings that experience internal, where maybe things got really triggered for you over this weekend. Maybe, you know, starting to like have some of those deeper realizations, some like deeper sadness. One of the things that I've been experiencing with this energy that's been kind of hard for me to sit with, honestly, because I get really I'm really sensitive and in touch with the energy that's going on in the universe, and I feel it in a way that's like pretty intense, and I feel like that's for the purpose of making these videos and using it to help people. But I have felt this sadness, just like a lot of sadness, and you know, having a lot of like triggering of memories that have made me really sad. And so there might be some of that going on for you, you know, just like things that you didn't expect to trigger memories, or like the thoughts of, you know, situations that you maybe have been in over and over again, whether that's in work or in, you know, like however you make money, or in relationships. And, you know, I also want to say that like how this affects you specifically, like we could get even more specific about it if I, you know, saw your birth chart, right? We could talk about where the sun and moon are in your birth chart. So if you have a birth chart, you could look at the house that it's in and, you know, kind of think about how that relates to what's happening for you. So, yeah, so the sun and Venus had conjunct and they moved into Scorpio, and then along came the moon, and the moon just came in this morning at 4 a.m. 4 something a.m. I'm not really, you'll learn that I'm not actually super specific about these things. But this morning, the moon came and conjunct Venus and the sun. And so those things that were being illuminated, then the moon brings in the emotion of that. And, you know, that could have brought maybe some intense kinds of dreams, or, you know, waking up kind of feeling off, feeling emotional, feeling sad. And it's kind of like, you know, your emotional self catching up with these sort of like deep realizations that you've been having. And, you know, the thing that I was saying earlier about eclipses is that oftentimes they come in and they remove things that we feel like unwilling to let go of. And, you know, the best advice that I have in eclipse season is to just kind of, you know, hands off. It's like letting the universe do what it does, because in our humanness we often try to fight against it, right? And that, I promise, will cause you a lot more discomfort, and it will be a lot harder to experience the things that are being taken from you if you are trying to hold on too tightly. And, you know, in eclipse season, it doesn't matter how tightly you try to hold on, right? It's like Uranus energy, right? Where it just is like, it's like the universe is saying like, this isn't for you. You won't let go of it. And now I'm just going to take it. And, you know, it's not saying it like in a way like of punishment, but it's saying like, I'm, you know, it's like I'm here to help you. The energy in the universe is like all knowing, right? And just knows exactly what we need when we need it in a way that we don't. So, you know, just kind of, I've been, you know, having a lot of sadness, and it's like this kind of energy isn't necessarily easy for people. Loss and grief isn't something that's really easy. even if it's something, something that is like being sort of removed from your life that is harmful, sometimes it can still just be really hard to let go of. And I think of like, you know, being in relationships that are like really unhealthy, and you know that it's unhealthy, and you know that it's hurting you, and yet, continuing to have that pull to like, to stay in it, to be there. So the, kind of the purpose of this is coming in, giving you these really deep realizations, connecting it emotionally so that you can like feel the grief and loss of whatever it is that's being removed. And, but mostly it also is like really about illuminating what it is that you really need. What are the needs and desires that you have in relationship, or that you have when it comes to money or abundance? Or, this can also, because Venus is the planet of worth, really bring up the ways that you are outwardly showing yourself that you don't value yourself. And so again, that might be in ways of like abandoning yourself for a job or a relationship, or, whatever that is for you. And, I think about this in a way, though, that it's like, again, really just that it's like the universe really wants what is best for us, and wants us to, like, our deepest desires. And I'm not talking about the kind of desires that are like born of like illness or distraught or distorted energies. I'm not talking about that kind of desire. That's what people think about a lot of times when I say desire, but I'm talking about the desire that comes really from your spirit. Those desires are a part of who we are, and are actually things that we are meant to fulfill, to truly like step into the authentic selves that we are. And so that's the kind of desire that is being illuminated. So it's like really getting to see, what are those desires for you? What are your needs? And then, there's also a grand trine in air, which is helping us to then shift our mindset. And it's not very often that we get some kind of an energy like this. Like, what I love about this energy is this is very much kind of the work that I do in therapy with people, that's just like happening, like bam, the universe is just doing it for us at a pretty quick pace, right? It's just like these revelations, discovering these really deep things, feeling them, releasing them, and then shifting our mind to fit what we actually want. And so then coming in and like rewriting the programming that we have had that has like led us to behave in ways that we don't really see our own worth. So I'll give you an example of this. So like, say that you are a person who was raised to believe that you work really hard for your money, you don't really make very much money, but you have to work super hard for it, and that you should just give your life away for your employer. And so you've been like working at a job that doesn't pay you very well, and you have been giving all of your time and attention to, this employer, and you have like felt for a while inside like not valued by this company, and maybe like you've wanted a raise for a while, and they haven't given you a raise, and maybe they've been telling you reasons why you don't deserve a raise, and it's been kind of building in you. And then like you started to have this revelation about how you're basically working and like giving away all your time to this employer, and it really just hasn't felt okay anymore. And then that kind of like emotionally just feeling like, this isn't what I want anymore, right? And like letting that go and moving into this sort of like other energy of like, wait, I don't want to stay at this job. And then being able to get your mind in alignment with that and say like, instead, like, these are the things that I really want. This grand trine helps us to rewrite the programming and to say like, this like idea that an employer decides what I'm worth is bullshit, right? To be able to like rewrite that and to say like, no, I actually am worthy of, you know, getting paid this certain amount of money. This, I won't settle for anything less. This is exactly what I want to do. And believing that that is something that is out there and available to you. And you can rewrite the programming in your mind where like you can let go of that old program. This, you know, so it's like the universe is really in alignment for that. And, so what I want you to do is I want you to actually like pause the video, and I want you to write down what in all of the things that I just said, like what in this video has really resonated for you and how does it apply to you in a specific way. So I want you to write about whether it's, you know, a relationship that you've been in, or, you know, the way that you've been like dismissing your own needs, or a job that you've been stuck at. Like, how does what I just said really relate to you and your situation? And I want you to write it down. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. And then I want you to write about what is the programming that you have behind that. And when I say that, what I mean is, what are the kinds of thoughts that run through your mind? Like, what are the reasons that you stay in that relationship? Is it because you think that you couldn't get anything better? Is it because you were taught that you just stay no matter what? You know, like, what are the beliefs in your mind that are keeping you in something that isn't for you? And so if that's a job, or, you know, just whatever the situation is for you. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to write that down. Okay, and then now we're going to, I want to pull a card. What is the card that I want to pull? So I think I'm gonna pull a card to just kind of see maybe what collectively is going on here. And so this is the part where I'm kind of like, you know, tapping into your energy as the viewers, kind of seeing what's going on for the people who are watching this video. And so, what do we have here? Let's see what's here for the people watching this video. Okay, so that's really funny. So the one that came out actually is the crumbling. What are you holding on to? And, you know, I mean, really like synchronistic. I think it's, again, yeah, of course, it's just going to give me this like general card about like something that I've already been saying, but basically there's something in your life that, that you're clinging on to. And it's like this, really dark tower, right? And it's like the lightning is coming down here. The lightning is like hitting this tower. And it's, yeah, just like this dark kind of building. You know, what really strikes me is that behind it, there's this beautiful like field and mountainside of flowers, but like you can't see past this kind of dark thing that's kind of like looming over you, right? And I get this feeling of sort of feeling desperate really to hold on to it. Okay. And I feel the need to maybe do a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of clearing of maybe some cords that are happening there. And that is a really safe thing. It's not like, you know, removing anything from your life, but it's more just kind of altering the pull that you have to it in a way that is helpful. I mean, it will never harm. It's never gonna, you know, make something disappear that isn't meant to. So yeah, and so I feel like this one is kind of, you know, the guidance of that. And look at the difference between these, right? And so It's like they're really wanting me to tell you, this says Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. And, you know, look at this. It's like, well, look at these, okay? You see how similar they look? And this is the tricky thing about things that we hold on to in life, right? It's like the grandmother standing here looks kind of similar to this tower, right? But it's like, this is very light, right? Look, it's even got the same thing where it's got this like, you know, this beautiful thing in the background where it's like her opening is the same. See that? It's so interesting. So it's like, they're saying like, we know that this feels like what you're supposed to do is hold on to this. But it, you know, the universe is coming in and saying, but really, like, I have this divine plan and it's beautiful. There is no dark tower in this divine plan, right? It's just beauty and light. And, you know, so much protection. There's like these roses of love and these people that are all super loving. And, you know, also I think just the way that it's like, that it is like, you know, she's kind of like looking down at these people with love and adoration, and it's saying like, this is really my plan for you, not this. It's not my plan that like you hold on to this this thing that is crumbling, and it's like, it's crumbling because behind it is this beautiful scenery, right? And so I know that that is like easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done to just like let go of something that you are kind of like desperately clinging to. But, you know, in this energy, all the things that I just said and those cards really confirms that it's like, there is something so much better for you. And I want to actually kind of pull another, I'm going to pull a little Rumi card, kind of see what is that better thing. I love Rumi. I love, you know, this like way of looking at the universe and love and connection and these kinds of things, right? This meaning. So what is that better thing? What is it? Tell us, what is the plan when we let go? It says, sacred convergence. What cannot be found is what I'm longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. So, you know, I would guess that for, I mean, this also is in alignment with what I've been saying, but if you're watching this video, you likely are someone who's really like feeling the energy of this eclipse, and whether you've been accepting less than you really deserve at work. I mean, this again is like our worth. So what cannot be found is what I'm longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. And so it's saying like, even though, you know, like say in relationship, I have this like really deep need for love. I'm not willing to accept something that isn't all the things that I need in a relationship. Like say, you know, that like I long for some kind of really like deep connection, but I'm settling for something that's just like surface level because it gives me some idea of connection. And this is saying like, you know, I won't accept that. I won't accept that. I would say that you're maybe living in a relationship that is like breadcrumbing, or, you know, someone who's like not that available to meet your needs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with not being able to show up and meet someone's needs. It's like, we're not all the same. And people will often, you know, say things like it's too much to expect out of a person. I don't think that it is. I think there's someone out there for everyone, right? There is someone out there who can show up and love you in the way that you need to be loved, who can meet your needs, and who wants to do that, willingly wants to do that, and loves to do that. They actually just love to show up for you. Those people exist for you. And it's really about like, you know, this energy in the universe is really trying to show you that you're worthy of that. And that if you accept, you know, small pieces of ruby, you'll never actually get that, right? Because you'll be too busy holding on to the tower that's trying to fall. This is true in a job as well, right? So like if you're working at a job that, you know, isn't willing to like give you the raise that you actually deserve, you're holding on to it because you think that it's like the only thing that you're going to get, and you're standing in the way of the universe giving you a way of making money that actually is fulfilling you, that's giving you enough money, more than enough money, that you don't even have to work hard at, right? So I want to also read this description that it says underneath it. So it says, you do not have to force the planets to spin, nor the great cycles of the soul to progress. All that is required is that you show up for what is offered to you now. Do your part, take your steps. You cannot remain in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in the frequency of love. And so, you know, again, it's like more of this like push to just to let go of what isn't love, of what isn't meeting your needs. And I know that it can be scary. And that also, I really feel this sense of kind of that clinging. And so I'm going to do a little bit of energetic stuff right now to just kind of help let that go. Okay. Us. Okay. This is me just, I'm also smudging you. And I have this kind of like, you know, a sense of fear. And I want to just reassure you, I mean, you don't have to stay for this part of the video. And I want to reassure you that if you're here, as you're opening to this energy, that it's safe for you to allow this cord to be severed. We're just going to sever that. Yeah, and I just felt 7 of them. You know, I guess like I feel like that is actually for 7 specific people who are watching this video, that we severed a cord for you. And we're going to actually just kind of burn a little sweet grass for that. And so whenever I do a removal of anything, I like to fill that with something positive. Okay, let's see what else we need to do here. And this is just kind of the moving of something emotional that you're holding. So, you know, if you feel like, you know, having some kind of a release of that, go ahead and let yourself do that now. You're safe to do that. Okay. So then what I want to do, I'm going to have to wrap this up, but what I want to do is also just kind of take this water and just kind of, I'm going to clean it with the Palo Santo in case it's kind of held on to anything we've been letting go of. And then I'm also going to hold this up here for you to go ahead and do that with your water. And again, I don't believe in time and space, and I believe that this works just perfectly. Okay? But if you want to burn your own sage or Palo Santo or something, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to hold this glass, and I'm just going to kind of say some things out loud. Okay. Now we're going to put into this glass of water. And so I'm gonna, this sweetgrass is really just like bringing all the best things into this water. And so in this water, it's like, you know, really what I'm feeling is with this water, I am accepting love. I am accepting my true value and worth. Wow, that's actually pretty intense, because it's like, that's what I feel like this new moon really is like, not creating your own value or worth, because it's already there. It's just that you haven't been connected to it. So this water is going to help us to open up, and as we drink it, we're really accepting the real love that the universe has to give to us, the real abundance, whether that's in love or money. That, like, you know, what, no matter what we've been doing to block ourselves or to hold on to something that isn't really for us, or no matter what we've been doing, that like the universe is going to give us what we're really worthy of. And we can fight against it, or we can go along. And I really like to go along. Sometimes I fight against it, but then I'm going to offer gratitude to my own things that I believe in. Offer a little bit of this water to the earth. And I'm inside, and to thank it for all that it does for us, giving it love. And I'm going to drink it. So go ahead and drink your water with me. If you would like to say some of your own things to put into there that you're opening up to, do that as well. You can drink it however fast or slow that you want. If you want to pause the video, you can. And then the last thing that I want to say before we wrap up is I want you to take that paper that you wrote down your beliefs, and I want you to write down a new belief, one that's in alignment with the universe wanting to give you everything good for you. So I want you to write down, you know, what is the programming that you want to lay over that old programming. So what I mean by that specifically would be something like writing, you know, the love that I really want is here, or when I do what I love, all of the money and abundance flows to me. Something like that. So, you know, you could just look at whatever you've written down and kind of write something that is more in alignment with like abundance, or with just the new belief that you want to have about yourself, or your value, or your worth. And then you can just, I think just saying that out loud with this like grand trine that's in air would be helpful. But also, you know, it's like saying it to yourself is very much like a Gemini, which is where one of the points is. And then saying it to another person is Libra, and saying it to the community or like a group of people is Aquarius. And so connecting all of those energies. So like saying that new thing to yourself, but also speaking it out loud to the world as if it's already true, right? Like, I only settle for relationships that are fully what I want, or like I can make money and doing whatever I love. So saying those things and like speaking that into existence. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that this video has been helpful, and that this new moon and this energy has been easy on you. even though it's been kind of sad. And so I hope that this, again, has been helpful. And thanks for coming to my channel, and I'll see you next time.